How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here checking out some great games that you can probably beat the very first time you ever play them. And to help me out with that, I got my friend Brett Weiss and his new book, the NES Omnibus. This is Volume 1. Volume 2 is coming out later. Big pages, lots of great artwork. Got the big old box art right there. Tells you a little bit about it, some insider insight and everything. So many cool games are on this list. In fact, a few of the games in this video are probably found in this book. The Last Ninja, ooh. Little Ninja Brothers, much better. A fantastic book for the Nintendo enthusiast in your life or for yourself. I got a link in the description below where you can find your copy. Thank you. When you play a brand new video game, do you go straight to the options and go to like the easiest menu? Or do you just keep it where it is, or maybe even go to the hard menu? I admittedly sometimes just go to the easy menu. I just want to play the game, have some fun with it. My old strategy, especially with shooters, was make it as hard as possible, get used to that, and then once I was used to it, then I'll go to easy, and then it'd be a breeze. No matter how you play your games, how are you feeling? You got John Riggs here. I'm going to cover 5 games in this video that I think for the NES you could beat probably the first time you ever play them. Probably. Number 5 is a favorite of mine. This is Wizards and Warriors. You play as an armored knight who does a lot of jumping in this game. You find these keys which will allow you to go inside certain doors. It'll allow you to open up certain treasure chests of the same color. You can get your upgrades for better ability, for better jumping, so you fall lighter, so you can actually control yourself a little bit better. You can launch things out of your sword. This is an earlier game. I think it came out near 1987. Fun Nintendo game. It's just overall fun. And this game gives you unlimited continues, and when you continue, you start right where you were. You might lose your points, but you can continue playing. So if you have the time, you can beat this game the first time you play it. And this game didn't feature save states, it didn't feature passwords, it didn't feature anything like that. So if you want to beat this game, you do have to play it from the beginning. But again, if you just want to play through the game, you can beat the game the first time you play it. Unlimited continues. I guarantee you can do it. Number 4, I want to talk about Bonks Adventure. Now, the TurboGrafx-16 version of Bonks Adventure is the defining version of it as far as I'm concerned, but the NES version is done extremely well. Same game, plays the same, and although I'm not doing great in this game capture footage that I did earlier, I did beat this game the very first time I played it. And if I can do it, I'm sure you can do it. It's still a fun game, still a fun playthrough. If you've never played Bonks Adventure, if you've never played any of them, I still recommend checking it out. Now, if you're collecting it on the NES and you want to play the physical cart, well, that's going to cost you a high premium. This is one of the harder games to find. It's up there in value. However, if you have other means to play Nintendo games, go ahead and give it a shot. I think you can do it. I love the bosses in this game too. All the bosses are basically the same. They really are. You just have to keep bouncing on top of their head, bonking them on top of their head. You just keep doing that pattern. You'll be fine. Bonks Adventure, love this game. Three, I'm going to throw out there as Ducktales. Now, I did not beat Ducktales the first time I played it. I had the help of reading a lot of Nintendo Power, so I knew where all the power-ups were, to get your extra health and all that. However, I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who have played this game and beat it the first time they ever played it without even looking at Nintendo Power, without even having any of the previous influence of maybe playing it before and knowing where to go. It plays simple enough. I mean, and as long as you keep pogoing everywhere, with the exception of like spikes on the ceiling, you can probably play through this game and beat it. I'm sure there are people who have, and if you have, please let me know in the comments. There are people who have beaten this game the very first time they ever played it. Now, sure, because I've played through this before, yes, I can do it sometimes. However, give it a shot. Number 2 is Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout. Really fun game on this one, I think. You play as Bugs Bunny, it's your birthday, in celebration it was like the 50th anniversary celebration or something like that. And according to the game, all of the other characters from the Looney Tunes universe aren't happy that you're getting all the attention. So they become, enemies and bosses and whatnot. And they're all super simplistic, super simple. And the platforms themselves, the game itself, it's a pretty easygoing game here. But yeah, seriously, like the end bosses at the end of the stages, a couple of them, yes, you have to, clobber them a couple of times with your mallet, but sometimes you just have to jump over them or get past them. They're not going to bother you. There's enough stages in this game to keep you playing, but Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout, definitely a game you can beat the very first time you ever play it. Again, if you have the time. Before I get to my number one pick, you can definitely leave yours in the comments below, and I love having other people come on and talk about their pick. So with that, because two Johns make a right, this is also John.
Hey folks, John here from Biddy Kong's Quest, and when John asked me to do this video, you know, I went through a lot of options that I could have chose from, but I wanted to pick one that I felt like, you know, maybe some people might have skipped over, and also one that was affordable for people that maybe were just looking to get into the NES's library, or maybe you just skipped it. So what I picked is the Little Mermaid, and you know, people are usually pretty familiar with Capcom games like Ducktales or Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Those are pretty popular games, and rightly so, they're really good. This one is kind of like those. It's, you know, level based, and it's almost like a platformer, but instead of running around and jumping around on the ground, you're swimming around underwater, and you can move in all 8 directions, and it's really like a pretty breezy game. It's not hard, you could definitely beat it in one sitting, but it's also really fun to play, and you know, they keep throwing new stuff at you, and it never really gets old. The best part of this maybe is that you can actually get this one for like 15 bucks on eBay like right now, and if you you know, catch the right auction, you might even be able to get it for less. So I feel like this is one that a lot of people might look over just because it's the Little Mermaid. Like, that doesn't sound like it would be super appealing. Definitely check it out. If you like Capcom platformers, you will definitely like this one, and that is my pick. So back over to John.
And my number one, I've talked about this game before, I love it so much, it's Super Dodgeball. Now, this game, you can beat the first time you play it, as like with the other ones, if you have the time. But this came from a generation where if you wanted to beat a game, for the most part, a lot of games didn't have password systems, a lot of games didn't have save you know, options. You just had to play through it from start to finish. And you can play through this game from start to finish. I literally did it just a couple weeks ago. I love this game so much. Dodgeball, 3-on-3, but you have your other people, you know, behind you as well. But for the most part, in the grid, 3-on-3, and each of them have a special ability that if you run and chuck it, or if you jump, run and jump and chuck it, you'll have a special power. And this guy Sam, right up front, if you just play as him and go through the whole game and get the timing down, you can probably breathe through this game pretty quickly. Now, some of the other countries later on, some of them have more health, some of them take extra to damage them. But seriously, just keep on playing this game with the same strategy. Just run, chuck it as hard as you can, get in the timing of if something does happen and they pick up the ball and you throw it at them, you can grab it, and that's no problem at all. Keep playing through this game, man. Super fun game, love it so much, and you can beat it the first time you play it. Thought it was kind of a fun topic for this video, so glad you checked it out all the way through the end of the video. I have other topics I've done in the past as well, so make sure you check out this one especially, but make sure you check out this one as well. Always new top 5s coming out, always new ranking videos coming out as well. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you soon.